Good.
Okay, it started recording now. Perfect.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, awesome. Here we go. So again, my name is Ahmed Saleh. I'm a senior Microsoft Power Platform Solution Architect at St. Jude Children's Research Hospital here in Memphis, Tennessee. I'm also one of the Microsoft Power Platform Community super user for 2 seasons, and I'm also a Microsoft Power App Program instructor for this new program that Microsoft, publish for free for those who are switching careers and they want to just go through official kind of trainings and then get basically graduated after 12 weeks with a vast amount of knowledge that can make them really actually to really switch career. So I'm also an instructor on that program. So let's actually go ahead and start next. So Dataverse and Power Platform. Dataverse, just a brief definition, it's actually something that lets you actually securely store and manage data. So it's a platform that will help you to secure to securely and easily. That's what is the most important part, to store actually and manage data that is used by business applications. So and this is very important because again, remember that the Dataverse is actually the back-end data of the Dynamics 365. Dynamics 365, it's ERP, so it's Enterprise Resource and Planning application or system, right? You have customer relation and management systems. You have chain supplies. You have all these, really business application that manage daily operations for too many type of businesses. And the Dataverse is the back-end data of this Dynamic 365. So it is actually very efficient when it comes to, that's why we said business application. It's very important to, if you're gonna build anything that it's not really focused on business, then maybe you don't need to use, Dataverse, in that sense. But if your data seems to be like a scenario in your daily business operations, then it's a business application. And if it's a business application, then the recommendation is going to be Dataverse. The data within the Dataverse is stored within a set of tables. And by the way, the back end of the Dataverse is an Azure SQL database. So the whole thing, it's actually initially or eventually is actually saved as or on a SQL database. So that's the back end of the Dataverse. The Dataverse, the data within these Dataverse are stored in tables. Again, it's a database, and Dataverse also include a base set of standard tables that cover typical scenarios. But you can also create custom tables when you first actually provision the Dataverse in your environment. It will come with these standard tables that you can use and you can utilize, or you can create your new custom tables if you want to just match the scenario that you have in your organizations. You also can obviously populate the data or bring the data or load the data onto those custom tables that you created using the Power Query within something called the data flows. So the data flows is just the mechanism that we can get external data from external data sources to load into our Dataverse tables. App makers can then use Power Apps, obviously using Power Apps to build rich applications that use this data. Power Apps here, it's actually referring to model-driven apps, Canvas apps, portals. So all the three types of the apps that we have at this time. And this is just, kind of like showing the ecosystem of the Power Platform low-code platform. You have the Power BI, you have the Power Apps, you have the Power Automate, virtual agents, Power Pages, and then you have the AI Builder, and then you have the Dataverse, and you have the data connectors. So basically, you can still have all these components, and then you have the connector that can connect you to more than 270 external data sources. So Dataverse and model-driven apps. So what is the model-driven apps? Model-driven apps design is an approach that focuses on adding components such as forms, views and charts and dashboards to tables using an app designer tool. So basically, the model-driven app is or it's a way that we can actually add to the table, the table itself. And that's why we're going to create the form, for example. Before we create the model-driven app, we can create that form that we will show in the model-driven app. So the model-driven app is just basically a user interface where we can actually tell them, like, I want this table and I want to show this form of this table, right? This is basically the model-driven app. But really, we are building these forms that we show in the app inside or attached to that table. It's a property of the table in the Dataverse. And that's why it's important when we say that Dataverse is way more than just what they call it, just a database. So it's more than a database. It's not just a database, right? And again, here, this is an example that we can actually, create forms, create charts, create dashboards, create views on the table level. So that's before even we start the model-driven app. Additionally, you have the relationships. So relationships that we can build in Dataverse between these tables, connect all these tables together in a way that permits navigation between them and ensure that the data is not repeated unnecessarily. So that's basically what we call it redundancy. So we get rid of redundancy of the data. So I don't have to have, the same column in 60 tables. If I have a relationship between these tables, that's actually getting rid of this redundancy. It's just a relational database management system kind of concepts to get rid of this redundancy. Using the app designer with a little, I think I have to go back here. Yes, using the app designer with a little or no code, you can build apps that are simple and very complex. Okay, when to use model-driven apps? Model-driven apps are especially well suited to process-driven apps that are data-dense and make it easy for users to move between related records. So when you have a lot of data, a lot of related data, that means you have a lot of tables, mini tables, then you can, and you want the user to navigate from one table to another table to focus on one area that related as a relation between 2 or 3 tables, and then move to another form. So that's when you come and use these model-driven apps. And we will see some examples of these, apps. So it's easy for the users to navigate through this type of a lot of data, a lot of relationships, such as, for example, here, onboarding new employees. So you have a new employee and you have your HR is onboarding those people, and you have also your employee who actually following some steps, maybe using Power Portals, right? So this is going to be one of these examples that it's a dense data with too many processes, too many phases, and there is dependencies as well. So you have things that has to happen between before the other things. Managing a sales process, a member relationship in an organization such as a bank. These are examples of where you use the model-driven apps. Data modeling is a good concept, or it's an important concept that you have to understand. So to have a successful model-driven app, you have to have a successful data model. So while they are called model-driven apps, and obviously that's how we call the model-driven apps, we call them model-driven apps, it is often easier to think of them as data model-driven apps. So basically what that means is that because without a successful and a good design data model housed within Microsoft Dataverse, you cannot create a model-driven app. So you have to have a very good data model. What does good mean? I mean, you have to study your business requirements. You have to make sure that you understand the relationship between the different tables that you will create. You have to use the right column data types. You have to build the right business rules on your tables. So all these actually, the relationships, all these actually part of the good model. Once you start building that model-driven app, it will be, very successful. You have, if you spend the time on modeling your data. So that's very important. A collection, what is basically the model mean, or data modeling? It's a collection of related tables in the context of model-driven apps. They are held within the Dataverse database. In a custom solution, the data model is often the set of the related tables built with the purpose of delivering the overall business applications. You have the scenario, you know the business requirements. Okay, so for this use case, I'm gonna need three tables, and it seems that the relationship between these two is gonna be one to many. Between this and this is gonna be many to many. Then I might need a intermediate table to to design that many to many relationship. So these are basically the design. And again, spend the time to figure out your data in Dataverse before you start thinking about how I'm gonna build these model-driven apps. That's no problem after that. It's gonna be very easy. All right. While the model-driven apps are especially well suited for the process-driven, when we have actually process business application, or application that actually manage process kind of applications, right? Stages, one step to another, we have and to make it easy, again, to move between the records for the user, the Canvas app are ideal for building task-based or role-based applications. So if you have a task-based check in, check out app, that's it. When the employee come in, they want to check in, they want to check out. Very, very specific, application with a task based or role based in that sense. you know that's going to be a Canvas app. Here we have this chart here. Canvas apps, highly customizable, obviously. In Canvas app, you can connect with more than 200 data sources. In Canvas app, it's driven by user experience. So you can build the app based on the user experience. Again, this is something can also happen in model-driven app, but it's going to be required like a lot of JavaScript to do that. And that's why it has to be driven by the data model when it comes to the model-driven apps. Ideal for task-based or role-based applications. For the model app, it's restricted customization available. Yes, you have customization. It's increasing a little bit, over the time. So that's great. We just have this new, user interface. It was beautiful. But if you want like advanced customization, then that will require some code to be added, heavy code to be added to model-driven app, specifically using the data stored in Microsoft Dataverse. So you cannot build a model-driven app that is consuming data from outside sources, while in Canvas app you can. You just add the connector to the app studio, and here you go. You can connect the data, bring that data, and put it in a gallery, right? Here you cannot do this unless if you have something called virtual entities, or now we have a new way to add them. It's called external tables. So again, virtual entities or external tables, these are still, when you add them, when you configure them, they will become basically Dataverse tables. So you will be able to use them in the model-driven apps, but you cannot just use them directly in the model-driven app like you do in the Canvas app. Model-driven apps are driven obviously by the data model. So how you model your data, what are the relationship, all these kind of things. Ideal for complex business applications, right? Complex business applications. And again, this is what I know when you first read about model-driven apps. Okay, so why this is very complex? Look like it's very hard, and that's exactly why we have this demo today. So I'm gonna tell you, like, yes, you still can actually make those two work together. All right, that's it. Unbelievable. We're gonna start the demo already. Okay, create new model-driven apps. So now here we're gonna go ahead and start our demo. But before that, anyone has any question that they want to ask about these, 5 slides? I talked about all these things, I guess. Any questions so far? Right.
Yes, I do have. Can I ask here, or should I ask in Q&A?
If it's something related to the past slides, you can ask it now. That's fine.
Okay. So, what would be the list license required for using Dataverse?
The license is actually premium license. So that's mean you have to have either peer app license or peer user license. And this is Power App. Power App per user or Power App per user or peer app. So the peer app is basically you can have only one model-driven app, and that's it, right? Or one app that using Dataverse. That's it. You cannot have two apps. And this is again for small business startups that they have only one app. That's completely fine. But if you are using multiple apps, then definitely you need per user plan, right? And again, within the custom pages, and that's a good question. You might I'm gonna just answer it now. When we create a custom page, which is a Canvas app inside a model-driven app, and this is the custom page, not the embedding Canvas app part. It's a custom page. You can add as many as custom pages, to that model-driven app, and they will all be as one app. It's not gonna count as multiple apps license, right? So yes, Dataverse is a premium license. I think I don't know what the price now. I think it's like $20 per month. It used to be 40 actually until last year changed the price change. But yeah, it is a premium license. All right. So no other question. We can actually go ahead and start.
Sorry, I have a question, Ahmed, if that's okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So this the Dataverse. You said it's a database, right? So you mentioned the data modeling, and also I believe since it's a driven app, I believe they could also store some kind of unstructured data. So what would be the database backend? Is it Cosmos DB or Relational DB?
It's SQL. No, it's SQL database.
Oh, okay.
So the backend is SQL database. Yes.
Okay. So it's
and it's completely
RDBMS.
Yes, exactly. It's RDBMS and it's completely managed by Microsoft. So you don't get access. Like if you start creating Dataverse and tables, you don't get access to see that SQL.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And so it's again, that's completely isolated system for Microsoft. But yes, the back end of the whole platform is actually SQL. It's RDBMS. Yes.
Thank you.
Yep. All right. So not just to get the time running. So let's actually start with this right here. I hope that you can see my screen now. This is my table today. Again, all of you, if you have a dev environment, and dev environments are free. So if you sign up for a dev environment and you start actually provision that environment, you can basically say that I would like to install Dataverse with data samples, right? And when you install a Dataverse with data samples, you get this. Like this is a count table and one of the tables I got. So this is the table that we're gonna start working today with right here. All right. So to go also, so the next step is gonna be, I'm changing from Mac to, yeah. So the first thing that we will do is, as we said, we're gonna actually create a model-driven app. In our case, it's going to be very simple using one table, model-driven apps. So I'm not going to make a lot of work here for you. So first, before that, do you know how to create a solution? I would assume most of you know, but if not, I'm going to just go ahead and create a solution now. So I clicked here, say new solution. This solution, we're going to call it, call it MDA and Canvas apps demo. That's a solution. The publisher, I will set the publisher to be Contoso. And let me see what is the prefix of this one here. Okay, so it's this number right here. Contoso is the prefix. That is fine. And then I will create this solution. The first thing I will do when I create a solution, that I will actually add that table that I want to work with, right? Again, I know we don't have that many requirements, but understanding the solution and things like that, it's not going to affect how you do things when it comes to embedding apps. But again, it's just If you have any questions, feel free to raise your hand and ask me that question, like about specifics here. That's completely fine. So what I will go to the tables, and I will add existing table, and I want to add actually this account table right here. So I'm going to go ahead and add my account table. Here, very important things. Do you see this? A lot of people asking about this. What is this, right? If I don't select this, what happened exactly? So when you actually import this, it will be imported without any data. That's number one. So it will be blank. So that no data there. Also, will not import anything with schemas or any other objects. Like if you have relationships, it's not going to be imported with that. So basically, it will not import any kind of related objects with this. So in this case, we want everything to be added. I'm not sure about the data part, but I'm pretty sure about the relationships. It's not going to come there. So now we have this table, right? And then I'm going to actually go ahead and open the table again, just to make sure that I have imported the table correctly. So I want to see the columns. I want to see the data. We don't have that many here, so we have some data, and that's it. So that's perfect. And now I'm going to go back here, and if I actually, either you can actually go ahead and click open, right, like here, and this is the new design, by the way, of the table designer. And from here you can go to the forms, and this is where I'm heading. I want to actually do the form first, prepare that form that we're going to use today, because in the model driven apps, when we embed Canvas apps, this is the first scenario. Remember, in my slide, I said the first thing is actually creating the model driven app. And then after that, we're going to actually create embed a new Canvas app, right? So here, using the forms of the tables, this is where actually we are embedding that Canvas app. And until this point, you might not even started a model driven app yet, but you can actually start adding these Canvas app to the form, because the form is a property, is a structure of that table. And that's why we say Dataverse, it's way more than just data tables. It's more than database. So I'm going to go and before that, let me actually follow my instruction, I guess. So I'm going to go to the apps and then click new and model driven apps. Sometimes I go ahead of my own instructions, and I don't follow them. So this one, we're going to call it, let's say we're going to call it account. Yeah, let's just budget information. That's a name I have a use for. So we will come and explain why we named it this way. MDA. So MDA, basically, I just call it MDA, so I know that this is the model driven apps. And again, you can also see the type when you are looking to these apps within the solution. You can see that the type of this object is going to be a model driven app as well. So you can distinguish between the Canvas apps and the model driven apps, right? So here we are inside the model driven app. So this is the first thing that you see. This is basically where we start designing this model driven app. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a page. This page is going to be a Dataverse table. That's the first thing that we're going to do. You can add a Dataverse table, you can add a dashboard, and you can add a custom page. So today we're going to do both of these two. And that's it. Your homework is dashboard, and you can actually find how you create a dashboard, and it's very easy. You have to have a dashboard first, and then you just add it here. So in our first case here, we are adding a table. What table we are adding? We know that we are adding this account table that we decided we're going to work with. We want to show it in the navigation. Yes, we want to show it in the navigation, which is here in the side. Right here. You see here that we have this account table now, and it's loading right here, and that's what we call it, the view. So this is the view of this table, right? That's number one, that you need to know that this is actually called view, right? Okay, can we edit this view? Yes, we can. So I'm going to go back ahead, and actually let me just duplicate this, tap, and I'm going to go, oops, let's do this, and I want to go to this solution again. I want to go to the table that call accounts. And I want to go right here. Do you see this is that table account? And you see here we have views. So I'm going to hit on views. And what view is this? you can see it's my active account view. That's the name of this view, right? It came to me right here. So I'm going to go ahead and go to that view, my active account view, which is the public view default. I'm going to go ahead and click edit. And this is the information that I see here. So I have the account name, I have the main phone number, I have the address, primary contact, email address, and so on and so forth. I want to add one thing here. I want to add actually the account number. As you can see here, let me actually just drag this. So right here, do you see that these are all the columns that I have in this table? I can drag and drop wherever I want. And you can do some filtering, you know, like for example, you can filter here ascending or descending. You might actually want to filter them by account number. You can filter the way that you want. And then when you save and publish this view, it will reflect immediately on that model-driven app page. So without any other work that you have to do in the model-driven app. So here we added the account number, and everything else we'll like to see to leave it the same. So we're going to save, and we are going to publish. That's it. It will keep publishing, and that's it. So once it's finished, we will see that this column is being added here. Now, the other thing I want to do, remember, we are still in the designer place of the model-driven app, as you can see. So I have here, this is the account page, as you can see, and I have forms, I have views. So what I want to do, and you can edit from here, by the way. So if you come and click on this edit, do you see, like if you see this edit here, this pencil here, you can actually go ahead and edit from here as well. And this is what we're going to do for the form. So I'm going to actually go ahead and edit that form. What is the form? The form is actually when you create a new record like this is the form, right? This is the form. This is a form that actually working with one record. Basically, when you enter the information, one record is going to be created in this table, right? Or if you want to edit one of them, so by double click here, or by, for example, selecting and click edit, right? This is a form, right? That's a form, has all the information about this specific record. Okay, so that's a form right here. Sorry, right there. This is how it looks like. And what we're gonna do, we want actually to edit that form. So I'm gonna go ahead, save and continue. What I did, remember, I came here and I click edit and save and continue. And then the other way to do that, remember, you can also do that by going to the table, select the table, and under the table you have forms right here, and you edit which form that you want to edit. So let's see here. It's editing or opening that form for me. Perfect. And this is the account. This is the main form, account main form. That's the form that I want to work on. So the first thing I want to do, I want to, you know, just for the purpose of this demo, there's things that I don't need. Like, for example, I don't need timeline, right? Obviously, this is not something you're going to do in your application on your, what they call it, company tenant. You don't want to go there and just, you know, delete things from your account table forms. Don't do that. You're gonna have people angry at you if you do that. Okay, so here we don't need actually all this information. So I want to actually take this here, put this. So I'm basically, again, I'm not teaching you how to do forms today. Like, it's not like I'm showing you what is, you know, forms in Dataverse, right? That's different topic. That's why I'm working a little bit faster here. But if you have a question that you want to ask about, you know, specifically about this, feel free to ask. No problem. We can, you know, if it's something quick, we can definitely answer it, even if it's unrelated to our presentation. So I'm obviously I messed up my form right here. So that's what I want. So I want the account name, phone number, fax, website, and parent account. I will leave them right here. And that's what I want to do, right? I'm going to save and publish this. And I'm going to actually wait until it finishes, and then I will go back. Once I go back, I'm going to go back to my model-driven app designer studio, right? So here, creating Dataverse forms, you're going to find a ton of videos what are these forms, using subgrids, how to present related data, all these kind of things will be there. So that's completely sorry about that. I have to mute someone. Just make sure when you join, if you leave and come back, mute yourself. Okay, it's done. Save and publish. I'm going back now, and this will take me to the designer view right here. This is the model-driven app designer. I have the account, and I have the account, the forms. As you can see, these are the forms. This is after the design that we made, and then this is the account view. As you see that I have added the account number, so we have it right now. So now, basically, I don't need to do anything else at this point in the design of the model-driven app. I will go ahead and publish this model-driven app, and then I will go back to my solution so we can start with the first embed after that, embedding the Canvas app. Perfect, it's done. I'm going back, and that's it. So I'm here actually back all the way. Let me see if I need anything here. I'm going to close this, just clean up. I don't like too many tabs. Perfect. This is our model-driven app right here. If I click on these three dots, it will load, and then I will have the play. It will basically play the app for us, and that's the app that we have now. That's the app, right? Perfect. That's all what we need at this point. Now, we want to actually start embedding the Canvas app, but before that, let's actually go back to the presentation. So we have edited the main account form. We have updated the active account view. We have done all these things, right? This is, by the way, it's for me, instruction for me to just keep me on track, because I can talk forever and then I forgot what I was doing. All right, now the first thing that we're going to do is to embed a new Canvas app. So what do I mean by new Canvas app? That's mean I do not have a Canvas app already, right? So you might have a Canvas app that you built before. And this is why it's important to see how it's powerful, because some of us has, like, you already built a Canvas app before, and it's connected to SQL and SharePoint and Oracle, and it's going crazy and it's doing a lot of things. Now, the organization is moving to Dataverse, and you start actually, scratching your head and see, okay, how I'm going to actually build everything I built on that app on the Dataverse now, right? Do you really need to do that? Can you just integrate that Canvas app as it is and just bring it and put it inside a model-driven app? Literally, put it inside a model-driven app. And then wherever data that is being modeled in the Dataverse can be actually integrated with this Canvas app. Is this possible? Yes, that's exactly possible, and that's exactly what I'm going to show you how to do today. But for this slide here, we are assuming we don't have that existing app, and we're going to actually generate app from scratch, basically. So we're going to generate this app from scratch, but we're going to start from the model-driven app side, or from the forms in that sense, the Dataverse forms. Right, so embed a Canvas app using a classic experience. Again, this is still on the classic Dynamic 365 experience. It's not totally moved to the new experience. But to do that, let's actually go ahead and start doing this immediately. So what we're going to do this, where we're going to do this, it's in the form. Remember, the model-driven app is just basically a window, right? Just a window. And you have all these different components behind that window, and that's it. It's a curtain. That's it. But if you are embedding a Canvas app, you embed in Dataverse, we embed the Canvas app inside what? Inside a form. That's how we do it. The custom page, though, is different. When we create a custom page, which is a Canvas app as well, right? That you can use Power FX. When we do that, we add the custom page to the model-driven app. That's important. So two things: embed either new or existing Canvas app. This will happen on the level of what? The tables forms right here. So you have a form, and the form that we worked on is this form, right? So we're going to embed this app in this form. Remember, and this form, where is this form? How I can see this form? This is my model-driven app. If I click here and I click edit, remember, that's my form design right here, right? So I want to embed this app right here, somewhere right here, right? That's the form. So I'm going back to the form. I have this form. I'm going to go ahead and click edit and just make it edit in a new tab. Doesn't make any difference here. Right. So to do a new, like if you have a new app that you want to embed here, then you have to use the classic view. So to do the classic view, obviously nothing you can do here. The classic view, how you go to the classic, switch to classic. Remember this one here. Again, this will take you to the D365 dynamic stuff, right? And the good news is everything that we do now in classic is actually coming. It's slowly coming to our modern, because I could have actually go here, like in this components or controls here, right app, and here I can see display a canvas app. That's I can add it from here, but the problem, there's few things that you cannot do from here yet, right? For example, creating new canvas app, I cannot do it from here. Also, when we have an existing canvas app and I want to add it to this form right here, I can do this, but the problem is we want actually to generate that integration component. It's one component that should be added to my Canvas app, right? And under sources, right? Because I need that component to link this form to my Canvas app to pass the data, right? Or to make my Canvas app aware of, okay, where is this data coming from? Who triggered me? Who wake me up, right? What record wake me up? Think about the form as this. We said the form is basically a way that you can enter a new record or edit existing record or view a record, right? That's what is the form. So in one form, you have one record of a table, right? We trigger that Canvas app from that record. That component or that control will basically tell the Canvas app, hey, this record is the one actually triggered you. Here you go, the data or the information of this record, if you want to, work with it or not. Anyway, go to these three dots right here, switch to classic. And here we have account name, right? So I have basically, this is the classic ID. I know it's scary. Sometimes you see this, I remember the first time I saw this, I don't know where to go. It's just, but people, people with Dynamics, they know all these kind of things, no problem. So I'm in the summary, I'm in the summary section. And this is basically the field I have, the account name, remember? And that's why I want to switch back and forth. So this is the field I'm talking about, the account name, right? So that's the field. To add embedding a Canvas app, you have to have a field, basically, to link to that Canvas app. You cannot just add it to an empty section. At least I wasn't able to figure out this way. And obviously, the documentation says you have to have a field. So obviously, you have to have a field. So I'm actually adding this Canvas app and link it to this field right here, which is the account name. So to do that, you can actually select this field and click Change Properties, or just double click on this guy right here. And once we double click, it will open the properties of this. And you don't need to do anything about all of them except the controls right here. In the controls, I want to actually add a control. In adding the control, scrolling down a little bit, and you can see the Canvas app right here. That's the Canvas app we're going to add. If you scroll down here, I just, I easily create custom visual layouts using our powerful low-code Canvas apps designers, connect and display data from a variety of services using 200 plus out-of-box connector, right? Again, imagine that your Canvas app is connected to SQL, to Oracle, to SharePoint. You want to see this data that is related somehow to my Dataverse. Using actually model-driven apps, you cannot do that. You have to have this ability to embed the Canvas app, because as we said, the model-driven app or the Dataverse, the model-driven app will not allow you to basically present or show any data except those in Dataverse. This is how we do this if we have external data as well as a scenario, right? That's it. One thing I want to do is make sure that after you do the Canvas right here, we're going to actually run this on the web. basically what we are saying here, because we are linking this Canvas app to this field, which is account name. So I'm saying if you open in the phone or the tablet, just show the text box of, you know, the account name. If they open the app, or if they open this form on a web, then they will actually show the Canvas app. Now you have obviously the property here, entity name. So what is the entity name? Basically, I like to usually bind this to a value that is actually related to a field. And this is a recommendation for Microsoft for the entity. It's a great idea that you link this to a required column, right? A required column. So a column, you know, a field in your table that you know it's a required. And the reason for that is if you have someone is opening the Canvas app, right, and they are working on the Dataverse, another person is working in the Dataverse, and they updated something in the Dataverse, you know, if you are not tying this or binding this app to a required field, the data in the app that is being retrieved from the Dataverse will not get refreshed. You will not get the up-to-date data. That's why bind to a value on a field of a required field, a field that is required. So you can either bind it to the GUID, the unique identifier column, or any other required field that you know. No one can basically create a new record without being able to, without filling that column value, and that's what is required means, right? And then go ahead and click OK, and that's it. Because in this scenario, we said it's a new Canvas app. These two here, the app name and the app ID, obviously because this is a new app, I don't have an app name, I don't have an app ID. I'm going to create something new. How to start the creation? You click right here, customize. And I'm going to go ahead and click customize. And you can see it's immediately actually opening my Canvas App Studio for me. So 10 minutes and we're going to take a break, guys. Just for like 5 minutes or maybe 10 minutes break for you if someone would like to, you know, make a walk or come back and, you know, fresh with a coffee or something. So that's completely fine. Right here. So this is basically this is the app created for me. I'm not going to do anything so far at this point. As you can see, this is the guy that I was talking about, the model-driven form integration that was added to me right here. So this is basically what is linking now this Canvas app to that form data, right? Perfect. This is an edit control form. This is added to me, and this is the Canvas app. You can work on this app, do everything that you used to do in your, you know, regular experience with Canvas apps. You have the data sources, obviously, because we have created this or initiated the creation of this Canvas app from a form in the account table. Then it automatically added to me the account table right here. Perfect. I'm going to go ahead and save. When I save, I have to name. So I'm going to call it app, and this, we're going to call it account information. Let's just call it Canvas just for the differentiation. Canvas app account information. And we're going to go ahead and save. It's saving and publish right here. So once I save and publish, I'm not going to close it, leave the studio open, right? I'm going to go back to my classic view. What do you see what happened here? Now I have an app name right here. That's the app name. And I have the app ID, which is the, you know, the GUID of that app. That's it. What I will do next is actually click OK right here. And then I will click save. And publish. So it's actually publishing the customization now. Perfect. Now I will just go ahead and save and close, and I will go back. This is my, you know, form here. I'm going to hit save and publish. Sometimes when you do, and this is, I think this is the moving parts. That's why some people doesn't work for them, right? Sometimes, it should actually now show me the app right here in this area. That's because this is under the account name. But sometimes it doesn't do that, and sometimes it does do it. To be honest, I couldn't find what exactly when, but the good thing you can do it, if it happened to you, it's not showing you this, just go ahead and bring that Canvas app right here, control component. And here, obviously, we're going to just go ahead and bind this to the account name. Where is the static value of the app name and the app ID now, right? Because we already generated that app. So if I go back, so let's go back to my environment, and I'm going to go back to my apps. I can see that I have this app now, right? The Canvas app dash account information. This is the one that was created 1 minute ago. So I'm going to go ahead, click on this, and I will go to the details of this app. And I can see this is the app name, right? That's the app name. So I'm going to copy this, and I have the app ID right here. And then I will copy this. Then I'm going to go back to my form where I just added, actually, did I add it here? No, not here. It was here, right? So the app name, so I have actually the app ID. This is the app ID. And then what is the app name? I have the app name right here. That's the app name, and that's it. Obviously, there is no mobile or tablet. By the way, embedding a Canvas app now, it's not available for mobile and tablets, as you know. So it's only going to work on the web browser when you are opening the model-driven app in the web. Now you click done. This is what I meant. It should, immediately appear right here. Obviously, we don't have any data yet, but that's it. JSON parse error. Again, this is all related to not having data. When we actually run it now in the live model-driven app, it will be there because we will have the data of that basically record. So we're going to save and publish. And I'm going to go back. This is my app right here. So I'm going to give it a hard refresh. Another one, just to make sure that's still propagating maybe in the back end. And you can see right here, this is now the Canvas app. As you can see, it's coming here and it's actually linked. This is the information of this record, by the way, right? So I didn't do, guys, did we do anything here? Have we done, if we have done anything here from Canvas app work that you are aware of, let me know. We haven't yet. We didn't do anything here. We just added this and we have the form and everything. Now we're going to come and do some stuff here. But before that, you can see this is exactly. So basically, I changed the experience of the user being able to enter information in the model-driven app, right? That they can actually interact now with the Canvas app. And this is a Canvas app. Yes, it's maybe it doesn't seem to, but like if I come here and I change the color, yeah, that's too bright. Yeah, just change this. Yeah, changing the back color. Again, it's full customization. That's what I love about Canvas apps. That's why a lot of people want to do this, because I can do whatever I want. I can do 3D stuff, shadows and things that you cannot do there in model-driven apps. And again, you will still utilize and use what this model-driven app was built for, which is the dense database process-focused business applications. You're still going to do that and take advantage of this because you are using model-driven apps. But at the same time, if you want your user to have unique or the Canvas app experience, you can bring your apps in and customize them whenever you feel are suitable, right? So I'm going to go back right here, hit a refresh again, just to show you that, it's not changing the color just in the background here, right here. Right here, do you see? That's the app. That's my app, and we're gonna obviously after the break, we're gonna work a little bit on this app and show you the other fun stuff. So this is basically creating a new Canvas app, linking that app to the form. So basically, when I go here, right here, go to any account of these Fourth Coffee samples. I'm gonna go to this account. See here, the information is the fourth account. This is the information of this company. I haven't done anything yet. If I want to create a new record, click here now, right? What I want to do, I will call this MDA for power apps. Let's call this as like a company, right? And do this. And now click save. Once I click save, what I see right here. So now I created a record, and I'm ready actually to enter the information that I want to enter about this account right here. And this is not entering in the model-driven forms or the Dataverse table form. I'm entering this information inside my Canvas app. And obviously that's why we're gonna need a submit button somewhere here, right? In our Canvas app, right? Because when you have an edit form, you need a submit button, right? We all come from Canvas app, we know that. Perfect. So let's take a break, 5 minutes or 10 minutes. Just let me know in the chat. Do you prefer 5 minutes or 10 minutes? Just a quick question before that. And we're gonna start back in 2 minutes. Oh. Scott's well. Hey, Scott, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm just glad to see this. This is fantastic.
Yeah, thank you
Got a
so
good
much,
group
man.
here.
I actually,
Just want to say hi.
yeah, come on in.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Come on, Scott, introduce yourself real quick, because I think most of the folks here, they don't know who you are.
Well, I mean, this is great. I'm so excited. I live just outside of Memphis, about 80 miles outside towards Jackson area.
Yeah.
And but I work for the Power BI team on the as a Power BI CAT member. So but this on the other hand, my specialty is on Power BI plus the Power Platform side. I started implementing Dynamics literally in January 2003. So right
Okay.
at 20 years ago
Wow.
with CRM 1.0. So all the growth and the excitement that's come over the years in Power BI, it's been a fun ride. So I'm excited about you sharing this with the team here or the community here. By the way, I'll go ahead and put a plug in now that as long as I've got my mic open. On Tuesday in Memphis, in downtown Memphis at the Microsoft office, there is a day after dashboard a day, and it's talking about Power BI, which is just a really nice complement to the rest of the Power Platform for data and analytics. And it's going to be basically a free day of self-training with three folks from Microsoft as moderators and helpers in that. I'll be there, and it's open. So I'll drop a link in the chat window for the meetup link, and it's there on Tuesday all day.
I am actually coming, and I think I'm bringing a few folks with St. Jude with me.
So good.
Yeah,
good. I'm glad to see. I'm looking forward to seeing you there. I'm actually this morning I'm going through all the labs to make sure that the dialogues haven't changed on me since the last time I looked at them.
By the way, is this event going to be like virtual only, like live somehow, or it's going to be just
only in person?
It's only in person. Okay.
Only in person.
So if you guys
bring your laptop
here,
bring your laptop, show up. We'll have I think we got some pastries or something for coffee in the morning, and then everybody can be on their own for lunch, and we'll be there. But I'll drop the link in a second, but please register because we've got seats are limited here. We want to make sure everybody who's in the Memphis area is who wants to be there is there. But anyway, man, I'm excited to see this, and I'm looking forward to seeing it on Tuesday.
Yeah, I will see you on Tuesday. Thank you so much, Scott.
Well, I'll drop out, but I'll drop the link here in a second.
All right.
Great.
Thank you.
Everybody have a great day.
Yeah, you too. Thank you so much. Alrighty. All right. Look like we are back from our break, 10 minutes break. And here we're going to go again. And again, as we said, we're going to start by this. So I'm going to actually go ahead and start sharing my screen. I forgot that I stopped sharing. All right, perfect. And let me go back to my slide. Yes, it is here. So we have embedded the Canvas app using the classic experience, right? Then the section on the form where you want to embed a Canvas app to appear. And this is where we actually selected that account name. And this is where we decided we want to actually add that Canvas app. Always we have to use a required column that is guaranteed to have a value. Reason is we want actually our Canvas app data or whatever data we are showing in the Canvas app that is in Dataverse to be refreshed dynamically whenever that record is being modified. To do that, link that Canvas app to a required column. Next, number 4 is actually we have the model-driven form integration control being added to the Canvas app. This is this here. So when we actually click new, customize, and we created this new, Canvas app, we found that this guy here was added for us. Perfect. That's awesome. This control here, that's great. And this is basically what's going to link this Canvas app to our form. As you can see, this control has few properties. It's only 2 of them. Data source and on data refresh. So on data refresh, I want to refresh the accounts. I didn't do anything. I didn't write these things. It was there for me. And the data source was there for me. And it's the accounts table that we are working with. Perfect. Now, what we're going to do next is we're going to actually, as I said, this is a form, right? That's a form, edit form, regular Canvas app edit form, as you know it. And now what we're going to do, we're going to just edit some of these fields. So I don't need the name, the account name. And the reason for that, because I already have that part in the, remember in the form. So I'm going to go ahead and remove this one. I want to actually take this to the top. So I'm moving the account number on the top, main phone, and then address. Yeah, let's add something else. Let's add the fax. I'm going to just, and I have a purpose why I'm adding these specific, because if we go back here, you can see that we have the phone, we have the fax, we have the website, and we have the parent account. I don't need the parent account, but I just need to show you these 3. And the reason for that, I want to just show you the integration. When you enter information here, you can see that it's immediately updated in the Dataverse and in the model-driven app form right here. So we have the fax. Let's go add the website. And what else we have there? Okay, phone, fax, website. Phone. Is it the phone address, I guess? Address phone? Probably telephone. Yeah, just put other telephone 3. Okay, perfect. So this is the information that I need, and this is in my form. That's it. That's basically it. I don't have city. I don't have any. This is the city actually. So let's leave the city right there. And then what I want to do, obviously, I want to go ahead. I'm going to actually make this form right here. I want to make this a little bit smaller, and I'm going to add the button. But before that, I'm going to go to my app, change the theme. I would like to use this blue theme right here. And then I will add a button. Again, this is not about Canvas app here. So, I would assume that you know all these things. Perfect. So let's just make it, let's make it to right here. I don't know what is going on with this. For some reason, that's weird. It's, have you seen, this is a bug or what? Yeah, now it's fixed. I don't know. You guys see what you guys have seen this, right? Like it was just weird. Anyway, let's go here, submit, right? And again, what do we use to submit this form data? It's our, submit form function, and we give it form number 1. See, this is the first line of code I write, right? This is number 1, right? That's it, right? And that's it. That's everything I want to do here. Submit, and that's it, right? And then from here, yeah, let's change the color here maybe, just to make it, use it. I'm not a good designer, but I'm gonna try to make things look, does make sense. Perfect. Right here, maybe we can change the radius to 20. Yeah, that's too big. Let's just make it 15 or 10. Ooh, 10. Yeah, 10 is fine. Perfect. That's it. Save and publish. So that's everything. You know, that's a form. We did with the form whatever we did. Obviously, we only have one data source. Imagine now I want you to start working, you know, in the back engines of your brain. Like imagine if you have here the account number. This is the account table in Dataverse, right? You have a legacy system in SQL. You have a legacy system in SharePoint, or a current system in SharePoint. A third-party company is using the company account information that you have now in Dataverse. They use it with other systems, what they want, and then they prepare some other information that you need, or calculations, or prices, a daily price, or whatever information that they have in that system. You want to pull this information right here and show it inside your model-driven app. Just add your data source. Go ahead and add your data source right here. And obviously, you have to have a connection somehow. In our case, it's going to be this account number. So I'm using this account number to filter my data from that external data source and getting that information related to this account number right here. Perfect. And you can maybe, yeah, you can add fields that, you know, doesn't have any data to be filled manually on the form on Dataverse, but these fields actually going to be filled automatically when you actually use the Canvas app right here. So a button called load data, I open the account. Okay, so this account, I open other tables, SharePoint, SQL, Oracle, wherever data, I got all this data, I say load, and all of this data will be filled automatically on these other fields in the Dataverse that is being brought from outsource. It's on demand kind of things, querying data, right? It's just too many things that you can do. I'm going to go back to my app right here. I'm going to go ahead and hit refresh. Remember, we have this new record that we created. Again, it's not there yet, so I'm going to go hit a refresh again. Sometimes you have to do it multiple times, remember, just to make sure that did we publish? I think we did. Maybe we didn't. Okay, let's go ahead and publish right here. And then go ahead and refresh again. All right, again. Yeah, it's now doing. See, when sometimes give me that delay, I can tell. No, it's not. Really? Trick me? Okay, give it another refresh. Now here it's go. Okay, so it takes time sometimes, so don't freak out. Just keep refreshing. Okay, perfect. So now again, remember we have the account name. So let's say give just, you know, random things. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 8, whatever number. Phone number, I'm gonna just put my cell phone number, guys. So now that's just my cell phone number. Address, I'm gonna say Memphis. And then fax number, nothing. I'm not gonna put my web page. So I'm gonna put www.powerplatformplace.com, and another telephone number. Do I have? Oh, so I have main phone. Yeah, that's why I was wondering. So what is this other telephone number? Just put myself, and that's it. That's everything I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna go ahead and click submit and see what's gonna happen. I hit submit. It's running. Do you see these dots here? Right? Remember? These the dots that we used to see right here, and actually going ahead and refresh. Okay, but there is something that happened, guys, right? I had to come here and hit refresh. Obviously, I forgot something, right? And what I forgot is we have to go back to the app, and that's why, see, I have it here in the note, because obviously I did forget it before. Just when I click actually submit, there's another line of code that we have to put right here. It's basically using the model-driven app, model-driven form integration control. It has a method called refresh form, and it's set actually to false, right? And obviously we don't want to say it to refresh form to false. I want to say it to what? True. That's it. That's everything I have to do. So now next time when I hit submit form, it will actually submit this. And again, it could be somewhere else. Where it could be, for those who are experienced Canvas app designers, where this could be. I'm going to actually cut this here. I'm going to go select my form, right? Select my form and then go to the property of on success, remember? So that's mean if the data was successfully patched to the database, I want actually to refresh the form, right? You can do other stuff, obviously, you know, on this on success and failure, but that's it. On success, I want to actually refresh the form is true. Let's actually go ahead, save, and I want to go ahead and publish. Now, when I go back here this time, let's say that I'm gonna just edit. I don't have even to do anything here, but I have the phone number here. So I'm gonna, for example, just give it like few refreshes here just to make sure that it will work when we do it. So I'm gonna go ahead and edit the phone number. So I'm gonna just delete this phone number for now, and then click submit. Let's see what's gonna happen. Did it? Nothing. It's still probably still working in the backend. So I'm gonna add the phone number now. Let's go ahead. Okay, delete it. It's still, yeah. Give it this. Give it. Yeah, it's over there. So get here, put it, and now submit. Do you see what happened? Are you guys, raise your hand? Put likes, anything, react, so I can feel like I'm in a classroom. So you have seen that this actually now is automatically, as you can see, it's automatically being generated for me. Okay, let's actually change the fax number. I'm gonna put a fax number, and this fax is gonna be 11441122, right? And then submit. This is a Canvas app right here. Do you see it? It's a model-driven app. So that's why, because we are using this small, tiny, and I see you don't have to do anything about this. It's just basically one of the method. It's either true or false, and that's it. You have both options, right? Here we done actually with creating new Canvas app, and that's it. That's everything that, and from here you can take it places, like wherever you want to take this after that, do it. But now you have a model-driven app, you have a form, and in that form you have a Canvas app that you can integrate with the form and the data, right? Very easily, very simple. We're gonna do another test right here. So I'm gonna go ahead, click new, and then I'm gonna give it a name, final test, before we go to the next session, because I think we don't want to run out of time right here. Final test right here for this scenario, just this scenario we haven't done yet. Save right here. I'm gonna come, I have the account number, I will give it 00223366. Main phone number, let's just give random phone number right here. I will put this Collierville. This is another city. Oh yeah, that's completely messed up. All right, and then the fax, I'm not gonna put fax. Website, I will say not applicable, and phone number, I will say just not applicable. This is going to be a phone number. It has to be a number. So I will put just 0. Let's see. Right. And remember, you can have all the validation that you will have too, right? Maybe you have some validation that are complex. For example, you have a phone number that has to be, matching certain kind of data in some SQL on-prem database, right? And or some website on cloud data that you are pulling using API. You cannot do this here easily, right? But in the Canvas app, I can pull the data from there. I give the account number, filter, and make whatever condition is correct or no, and I show an error message right there in that validation. Submit. It's done, submitting, and you can see it's changing everything that I have right here. Perfect. So that's it with this part. Let's start with the next scenario. So we did actually the model-driven form integration. And we have the account number, we have the account name, and we haven't used this one. This is actually something we're gonna use with the next scenario, right? So the data source and the edit form, everything is done. Refresh the host from data after data change in the Canvas app. We have done that. And now embed an existing Canvas app. That's now we have a Canvas app. You build that Canvas app. It's been there for years. And now you are moving to Dataverse. The Canvas app does not going to change that much when it comes to the data, but this new Dataverse will still have some relationship with my Canvas app functionality. I wish if I can use both at the same time. I want to use model-driven apps because we're going to have intense data structure and data modeling. And at the same time, I want to have like this freedom of customization to customize my Canvas app. Or I want to have the freedom or the legacy to be able to connect both of my previous app, Canvas app, with my new model-driven app. How to do that? Perfect. So jump into the tutorial, and we're not going to actually waste any time right here. So we're going to go back to our form again. Actually, this guy here, we're going to say thank you, and we're going to just have to close this tab here. So that's it, done. I want to go back to my form. Yeah, it's right here. So, and this is the form. Again, this is the form of that table, the same table, account table, right? What I want to do here, I want to add a section. This is a section. So I'm adding this section right here. Selecting this section, I will call this section Canvas app. And just, I could have called it like existing Canvas app. It's just, that's it. Now, in this section here, I want to add my app, right? But before that, let's go back to see what app that we are adding. So I'm going to go back to my environment. I will create actually an app, but I will use an existing app. Obviously, we can take a long time. We're going to use this app here called Budget Tracker. It's an app, right? It's one of these templates that you can start an app with. And we're going to use this. So I'm going to click here. And obviously, I'm going to just click create. So I'm using this template now to create an app. This is basically an app that you can track budgets of different accounts, maybe different customers, maybe, you can use it maybe with your own children, right? Like you have multiple children and you give them like certain amount of money or budgets per, obviously you don't give them like $55,000, right? But that's just the purpose of this app, right? So when you open a template, and here this is a trick, when you open a template, when you create a Power App from a template, you get this blue thing, yellow thing here. Read this because this is useful. Because the data source that we have here, these are imported Excel files. That's mean you don't have any access to these files, by the way. You cannot open these Excel files outside this app right here. You can't. So that's why you have to read this. Make your own version of this app by connecting to data storage such as OneDrive. Very simple. So I'm gonna click here, and then I will use OneDrive for Business in my case. That's where I want to save the data that is here. I'm gonna click save. Basically, it's asking me to save this app, and then I'm gonna click this again. Make sure that it's OneDrive for Business, and I'm gonna click done. It will actually basically close the studio and reopen it automatically for me. And now I'm going to show you what happened to these data sources, which is all Excel files in this app. It's all being converted to Excel files that are in my OneDrive now. Okay, so now everything here in this data, all this data is owned by me now. So if I go to my OneDrive right here, if I go to my files, if I go to my Power Apps, if I go my templates, I can see that a few seconds ago. Do you see this? I have a bunch of them. I did, a few tests right here. So that's basically the folder where I have now one Excel file has all these data. Let's actually open this. Yeah. So these are basically the tables that we are using on this, this app right here. Again, we're not going to do anything here. Responsiveness. Someone is asking about responsiveness. I already have in mind how I want to use this, but you can build the responsiveness again using the container controls. You can customize your responsiveness. If you want to have a set size, in my case, I'm going to set this to be a set to a certain size. I'm going to do that. But if you are building a responsive app that you wanted the app to move according to the size of the section in the model driven app, remember to use the property of the app function. So you have this app dot width. So when you add containers, when you add controls, make sure that you resize them and size them based on the app dot width or the app dot height, right? That's very important when you do the responsiveness. For this app, I'm going to go to the setting and display. I want the size to be custom. I don't want it to scale to fit, so that's why it's going to be very, very set to certain width. I want the width to be 850. I want the height to be 600. Right? And then from here, I'm gonna go ahead and there's certain things that I know that I'm not gonna need in this app, because we're gonna convert this app somehow to make it different. So we are deleting all this information right here. I don't need this. And I don't need this. So let's get this guy here. And just, you know, moving things around, that will be useful. So a little bit just, you know, playing with this. Nothing really fancy here we're gonna do. Let's put this here. And this button. Yeah, go guys, they're there. In this gallery, I think it's a gallery. So let's just push it here, right here. That's it. I think I have another screen also. It's when you create, actually add an expenses. So I'm gonna just scroll down right here. And this is where we're gonna attach, take picture of some expenses reports or expenses receipts, the matter of fact. So we're gonna, this one I wanted to go to 550, and I have, it seems like I did this before, right? Yeah, I had to, guys. You know, it's just like too many things, you know, and if I don't do this and practice these things, I'm gonna come here and it's all gonna be messed up. So I'm glad I did it. And I am fasting, so we are in the middle of the month of Ramadan, actually in the beginning. So the time for me is now 10:34 a.m. So I'm still fasting, and I still have until 7:15 p.m. to go. So that's why my mouth started getting dry, and my voice might go down a little bit. So, but I'm gonna stay here. I'm gonna stay here. You're not gonna lose me. So, all right, perfect. So that's it. That's actually everything we did in this app. As I said, this is an app. It's a template app, just for the purpose of the demo. We're gonna, but let's say that you have your own app and everything. So what I did, I just published everything here. I'm gonna go ahead and close this app, and that's it, right? It's done. So now we have this app. It's an existing app that we have right here. It's called Budget Tracker underscore Tablet. That's the app that we are using. So what we're gonna do, actually have to go to do now, we're gonna go to our form again, and here we're gonna have to do something. We're gonna have to still use the classic view editing when we add this canvas app. The reason for that is, remember that customize button that we had to click through the classic designer? It's not here. If I come here to add the app, right? And again, I have all the information about the app, right here, right? I have everything now because I have an existing app. So I have the table, I have the app name, and I have the app ID. Why not come here? Because I need that model app integration control, that control that actually link. Obviously in the app it's not there now, and I forgot to show you, but let's actually just take a look again. This is an existing canvas app. This has nothing to do with model driven app. This app maybe never worked with Dataverse. As you can see, all the data source here was just Excel. As you can see, I don't have that you know, the thing that I was looking for, which is the control, the model app control that I was looking for, right? That we had in the previous app, that when we created it from the classic view. I want that to be added to me right here, right? And that's exactly why we're gonna have to use the classic, switch to classic and use the classic, you know, editor to add this canvas app. Okay. So to do that, basically we're gonna need the app. So I'm gonna go ahead and open the details of the app. I need the app name again, and I need the app ID this time, right? And I'm gonna go back here to my classic. It's still loading right here. Give it a second. And in the summary, we don't need the summary. Remember, we added a new section. This time we have this section here. Oops, I forgot probably to add. Yeah, I need to add field. So I forgot to add the field. So I need to add the field. You know, just add the field for now, any field. We're gonna remove that field there. So I'm gonna just add, let's just add account number. Doesn't matter, right? Because we're gonna link it anyway to the another field. And then I'm gonna save and publish. You just have to have a field, because again, remember I said you cannot add a canvas to an empty section. Like, you have to have a field to tie that canvas to. And this is in both cases, whether it's a new app that you are creating or it's an existing Canvas app that you are adding. Right, switch to classic again. Perfect, and then I'm gonna come and go to my section, and here I have my account number. So I'm gonna double click in my account number, and then I'm gonna go to my controls, and I will add a control. Same thing we did with the existing, when we created the new Canvas app. Same thing, same information. I will change it to web. I have the entity name. Nothing here is gonna change. I can actually change this maybe to bind again. We said it's gonna be with the name, account name. In the app name, I'm going to basically use a static value, and I have the app name right. Oh, that's not the app name. So the app name I have right here, and then I will hit OK. And for the app ID, I have static value, and that value is right here. Perfect. This is the app ID, and this is the app name. Now, before you do OK, you hit what? Customize. That's what will do the trick of adding that component to us that we are looking for. And this is very, very important. So it's actually it's not creating anything. It's actually just opening now the app, but it will create that. Do you see this? It's actually done. So it created that for us. When I selected this component, I don't have a data source, because if I go to the data source, I don't have the account table. So basically, in this case, because we are not creating a new Canvas app, it will not, add these default tables or the table of that model-driven app form to us. So I have to go and add that, which is the account, right? And then I will go and select my control, the model-driven form integration control, and I will put the account table, and that's it. But before we leave here, we have to do other stuff. So I'm going to go to the slide real quick here. So after we selected, we have to use again the required column, blah, 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 the model driven control, it's over there, the data source and current item related data, various other, this is all there. Okay, and the refresh. And this is for, adding existing Canvas app. But we know actually what we need to do is I want to get the account number, and this is why it's important here. I want to actually go back. I'm going to change this one. So here it's instead of budget tracker, I want to call this, let's actually do some changing here. I'm going to call this account name, semicolon, and then I will say and I will use actually my model. Yes, this one here, dot item dot account name right here. Perfect. And then I want also say and then let's do this and account. Oops. Here, let's just account number, and this will be the account number. Dot item dot account number. See, this is again this control here. It's something was created for. I didn't create anything, and it does because I created this, or I linked this Canvas app to that specific model-driven app, right? And then I added the data source, which is accounts, and I put the data source of this. Remember here, the data source equal this table. That's why I'm getting all this information now, right? So I have here the account number. So I want to just make sure this is, this is too big. So I'm going to just make this, let's say, make it 14. Perfect. So now I have the name and I have the account number. So basically, this is the information I want to show first. Don't worry about everything down there. We're going to come to it. But now that's basically it. So I have this and I have the information. Now let's go ahead and save and publish. So the integration should be there because I have this model-driven form integration. So I don't have anything to worry about here. I'm going to go back here. Obviously, remember, we're going to go ahead, click OK, save, and publish after that. right here, I'm publishing the customization. Once I've done, I'm going to just close this. Perfect. And now I'm going to go back to my form right here and again, save and publish. Same trick, same things. Remember, I told you you can add it like from here, from the modern design. We'll see now. Sometimes it shows, sometimes it doesn't. But here, if not, I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. The same thing we did it before. So it's not showing. So what you can do is just go here, add the Canvas app from here. And we are putting this right here. Bind to a table column. Yes, we're going to bind this to a required column. We know that that required column is called the account name, right? And again, what does that mean also? Because when you create a new record, you will not see the app until you create the record. That's when you enter the required fields. In this case, is going to be the account name. Click save. That's when you will see the app, right? Again, here, the app name, we have already the app name. So I'm going to just go ahead and use my clipboard here. That's the app name, the static value. It's the same thing that we had. And then right here, we know it, no mobile, no tablets. And again, done. And we're going to actually see the app will open for us right here, as you can see. That's the app right here. I'm going to go ahead, save, and publish. We're going to do one more things actually before we edit this, close this form. I remember I told you like we just have to add this account number so we can basically add the Canvas app. After that, if you don't need this field, you can just hide the whole thing, right? Or you can just actually even delete it. You don't need it here. That's it. And then save and publish. Now you have a new section. Let's actually change the name here, right? Let's just call it like accounts budget tracking system. And make it like, you know, fancy, right? That's it. Save and publish. And we said this is an existing app. It's linked to other systems, but for now, we only need basically to link this system to our forms, and then we'll come actually and change the data here. But before we do that, we're going to take another 10-minute breaks after we finish showing how this works. Okay, so last time we took a 10-minute breaks in 1 hour. So yeah, we can take, it's 45. After 10 minutes, we're going to take a 10 minutes break after 10 minutes from now. Okay, perfect. So going back to my app right here, this is the app. So this is the model-driven app. So I just publish. Again, you publish that form, save the publish the form, you come to the app. Immediately, the user are getting this information. You don't have to do anything. No release, nothing. It's just gone for them, right? So done here, refresh. Now let's actually open one of them. Let's that datum right here. Remember, this is our new Canvas app. That's the first scenario. Now we have our Canvas app right here. Existing Canvas app. And you can see I have the name and I have the account number. These, for those of us who actually spend a lot of time building Canvas apps, they know exactly. Once you give me that one primary key, that one foreign key, that one key that I can use with other data sources, I'm done. I can fly. I can do everything, anything I want to do with this. And this is the account number in our case right here. So this is a Canvas app. This is a Canvas app. You play with it, do whatever you want with this Canvas app. That's a Canvas app right here. Gallery. This is your things right here. So you can make it bigger, responsive. Yeah, do it responsive. That's completely fine. Remember, the size of this section, it's going to be your parent. So the app width, basically. So if you want to, the app width now is basically this is the width because it's fixed. But if you want to make it responsive, then the app width is going to be this section width, right? And it will change dynamically. So you will change the controls automatically. It's the same responsiveness that we use with the regular Canvas app. Nothing really here different at all, right? The only thing is you will just basically know that my section size is this size, and I want to basically customize my responsiveness according to the section size. In our case, in the summary, here it's like a column, because this is like 3 columns, section right here. in this form. So I'm using, like kind of a mobile kind of design. I can change that. It's up to you. You can do whatever you want. These are custom. These are Canvas apps. So you can do anything you want. Right. So here we go. That's perfect. So I guess right here, right then, I mean, we are good now. So I'm going to go back to the summary. I'm going to go back to the account. Again, what we are going to do, guys, right here, remember this data, I opened this right here. So this is obviously tracking a budget, and I can do this in the break time, but I will explain to you what I'm going to do. So when you come back, you will see, what's going on here, right? So this is basically an app that this is the data. And by the way, this is related data. It has some kind of relationship because it has some, budget ID and other stuff, right? So what we're gonna do is basically in the budget title here, obviously they have like different kind of events, I guess. So what we're gonna use, we're gonna call this the account names. So here we're gonna have the account names, and then each account obviously has a budget ID. Let's call it like account ID in that case. And then the expenses, maybe we can have different kind of expenses. Maybe we use the same expenses name. But basically, I'm just tweaking this existing template app just to show you how we can link, because again, we have this data right here from Dataverse. So I want to just basically say that, okay, I have budget system that used to track the budgets, for these accounts, right? Which is not here in Dataverse. And I don't want to have to build it here. Let's just use what we have. What is the relationship between the Dataverse table account table and the budget tables that we have here in Excel? It's going to be the budget ID, or in that case, it's going to be the account ID or the account number, right? So to jump into this, I'm going to actually, you have now it's 9:49, it's 10:49 a.m. Central Time, right? 10 minutes, and we come back to actually start playing in this app, because again, we are kind of running out of time here. So we will do a quick 10 minutes break, and again, come back again to finish this. And then we're going to move to the custom pages, where we actually have also that excitements of another type of, Canvas apps. When we come back, I will open 5 minutes for questions. So if you have any questions in regard to what we have covered so far, feel free to ask that questions, by just raising your hand, and I can, get you to ask your questions. Perfect. So yeah, that's not good. Let's just go ahead and take that 10-minute breaks and come back again in 10 exactly. is everyone is back, or we still have the 4 minutes? I think we still have 4 minutes, right? Okay, so one person is back. Perfect, perfect, perfect. We have 3 minutes, and we're gonna win. All right. Yeah, so I have a few questions here I'm gonna answer before we can start. Second. Alrighty. Perfect. So do we have to save the data twice? No, you don't have to save the data twice. I'm just showing you that if you save the data in if you have a scenario where the user have to enter data on the canvas and then save it, they save it there, it will immediately show in the model-driven app. Vice versa, if you have other users are opening the same record in model-driven app and they are entering information while this user is focusing on the canvas, when they update simultaneously, they will see the updated data on the canvas app as well. So it's dual kind of simultaneously instant integration. So that's mean whoever saved the database, it will come up in the canvas app, and if you save from the canvas app, that the data will be reflected immediately on that form, right? So here, after I did some changes here, I came back to the app, and the app is crying. So I found all these yellow things here. And when I checked, actually, because obviously the account number or the account ID that we are using in the canvas in the model-driven in the Dataverse table, it's basically a text column, and look like this app was using the budget ID, which is we already replaced. So if I'm gonna go ahead and just show you the data and the few things that I have done if you weren't here. So I just removed the budget ID and I put the account number that we have in this Dataverse table, right? I didn't even change the column names or anything. We don't need to do that, but just show. And this obviously was an integer value. It was integer value, and now it's a text. That's why the app is mad. So I'm gonna go ahead and close this. And I want to actually show you a trick here. So obviously this is very stressful. So if you come here and you see like all these yellow things, and you don't know what's happening. And obviously I know the issue is obviously this gallery that selected that budget ID is the issue, because the budget ID everywhere, it's an integer value, but I want to actually, and here I'm getting a text for some reason, right? I'm getting a text. So what I need to do, this is a number, so I need to convert this number to a text. So what I want to do is I want to actually use text function, and that's it. Is it crying anymore? No. Did that fix the problem? Maybe. I don't have any problem. So I'm going to actually copy this now and copy this, the one that was crying everywhere. See, right here. Copy this. Have you guys used this before? Find and replace. So I'm going to go ahead and find this guy here. See, I have 27 results. And obviously this is going to be crying everywhere. Just want to make sure that, like here, for example, this is one of them that I do not want to use. So what we want is actually, then I want to use the equal. So I'm going to put equal like here. So that's what we're looking for. I have 3 results. Yeah, it's budget ID equal, budget ID equal, and this is budget ID equal this. So that's what I want to replace. I want to replace this with, basically, here I have my copy, this one. So I want to replace this with this. Okay, replace all 3. See if it's gonna work. Yeah, perfect. Now let's see this. What is going on with this? Oh, this is nothing going on with it. Okay, right here. Yeah, it's also this one here. So we're gonna actually copy this. This is another one. And then it's kind of like exact match. You have 12 here, right? And I want to do this. So I'm gonna just equal gallery. Yeah, let's go replace all of them. Replace all. Perfect. And now we have this here. Where is this? Okay, so this is this item.budget ID. So I'm gonna copy this. And also I'm gonna look for it. And this time is gonna be basically using. Do you guys see what I'm doing here? It's just, a few debugging thing, Again, you are expert in Canvas, I'm assuming. So right here, and then just replace this. And that's it. We have this. Again, that's also budget ID equal. Yes, these are, I'm going to just do them quickly right here so we can finish this debugging right here. And then we have these two labels. This item, yep. Text. And last one here. And oops, text. Perfect. That's it. Done. Right. So this is basically what we have. Obviously, this is the app now. So if we select any one of these, I don't see any expenses, which is weird. It should be there's some kind of expenses here. So I'm gonna check the filter to see what we have here. Like for example, we have, some expenses supposedly for this person when it's filtered by. So it's not showing anything. Expenses, the title is equal budget.title. Oh, yes, I think we are missing the titles somewhere. So go back to the data. In the expenses, we have the titles, which is still not there. Yeah, I need to get the titles right here. That's the thing. So how are we going to get this title? I'm going to just make up titles, guys. So basically the titles is the account name we said, right? So I'm gonna just put this right here and then get here. Doesn't matter to be any accuracy here again. It's just for the purpose of showing how beautiful this can be when you actually work and integrate everything together right there. So get this here. Expenses. Obviously, this is gonna be messed up because I have different account name with. Yeah, I should have. Okay, you know what? Let's. I'm sorry. We're gonna have to do this different way. Let's not be lazy right here. Okay, so we have this account name. So I'm gonna try to. Yeah, I'm open it here. So we have this account name. This is gonna be the sample. So if it is, yeah, that's correct. Datum sample, and then we have the ABC. The ABC, it's the adventure work. Okay, that's mean all these are ABC, 3 of them. Yep, perfect. Oh, what's going on here? Okay, copy this right here. Okay, and then we have these are ABC 09. ABC 09, it's gonna be the AL plane. So let's just, also. Sorry, come here. All right, and then we have ABC. I guess this is this. And then we have this, which is this. Okay, and this is the 325 or 3, 3 ABC 325. So this is the city power. Okay. And then M32. So this is the same one here. And then we have last one is 9IK, and it's the replicant. Okay, this is copy this and then copy this and paste. Yeah, what's perfect. Now I'm gonna just go ahead and close this so it doesn't confuse there, and I'm gonna go back and refresh my expenses. And my budget, I guess. Let's see. Oh, we have some. Okay. Let's see. It's still not showing. I guess give it a second. And is it expenses? It was expenses. Yeah, it's working now right here. So here we go. We have these expenses, and obviously it's simple. And again, what we see here, this is everyone, right? This is a gallery, and I know the gallery showing all the budget. But can we now actually filter this gallery by the account number? Yes, we can. Remember, we have the account number that is actually when the representative open this record in that form in the model-driven app, they want to only see the information related to this account, which is this account number, right? So we're going to filter this budget now, right? Where the account number equal it's not the account number. They call it budget ID. Sorry. Filter where the budget ID equal. In that case, is going to be our model driven. Remember the integration control dot item dot account number. And that's it. And then close right here. And you can see that's it. Perfect. It's working as beautifully as possible. So now let's go ahead and save. Don't worry about this. This is probably another screen. We have some errors there. So we're going to go ahead and save and publish right here. All right. Now we're going to come here. This is our app. Give it a refresh. Another refresh. And another refresh. And now we're going to go to see if we can see anything here. All right, I'm going to go to the Canvas app. Perfect. Still, I'm seeing everyone here, right? I'm still seeing everyone. So I'm going to go ahead and hit refresh again to just make sure that that filter is basically passed out eventually. Perfect. Do you see this? So now when they open this account of the Datum Corporation, I only see basically whatever is passed to me, which is that record. That's it. This is the customer. This is the information of this customer. Can I add attachment? Can I add receipts? Can I do things? Yes, you can do everything you want to do. It's you treat it as just a Canvas app. You know, wherever, you know, that's just a Canvas app. You treat it the way that you want. So obviously this is not it's nothing we're gonna use here, but you know, you can add, definitely you can go ahead and add receipts. I think there is an expenses. I don't know how you can add expenses. So you can add a budget title or a budget amount. So this is obviously something, it should be generated automatically. In our case, is going to be also the Datum Corporation, because we said the budget title is going to be basically the account name. So we don't need this. And what is the budget amount? But yeah, there is one actually where you can add an expense report. Not expense report. I meant the here. This is the one? Yeah, there was a button that you can click somewhere here. I wonder if when I recite things, I deleted it. Oh, no. It's right here. This is the guy right here. Yeah, it's right here, but it's just something under something, I guess. Where is it? Yeah, so I should click here, and then, yes, this is what allow. And basically, here I can actually go ahead and put the expense name. I will say coffee. It's gonna be $50 food. Yes, it's food. And then just go ahead and save. oh yeah, okay, it's already saved actually. That was quick. Now if I go back, okay, I know. Right here, is it saved? Let's see if it's saved. Obviously, if it's saved, then we forgot something. No, it didn't save. Okay, let's go click again. Expense name, let's say coffee. And then amount, let's say $15 food. Okay, tab anyway to take. Okay, we take this and then save. Okay, save. That's perfect. Now, if we go back to the app, we should see actually it's been saved. I don't know if it's saved or not. Let's see. I can go and check it right here. Should be saved in a new expense right here. Yeah, it's saved it, both of them. Okay, perfect. But yeah, obviously I need to do something here about the budget ID, right? So I need to update the budget ID. Do you see this? So that's why, because there is no budget ID, that's why I cannot see it on the app, obviously. So we need to patch the budget ID as well. But anyway, yeah, that's perfect. This is it. I mean, this is a Canvas app inside a model-driven app. And again, you have full control over your Canvas app. Wherever you are doing in your Canvas work, it's right there. The only thing is just making sure that this integration control is being passed, is created for you. Now you can pass information from the form in the model-driven app to the Canvas app and do whatever you want with that information, and do your other external integrations. Wherever you refresh here, obviously, when I do the expense report, remember, you know, when we do the expense report, we have this save button, right? Submit the form. And remember what we did previously when we did submit the form? It's going to be the same thing, you guys. So it's going to be remembering to utilize the methods of this new added control, the model-driven information integration, the model-driven form integration control. Submit the form. This is obviously is a form, right? And right here, I guess it's, yeah, that's probably the error. What is going on here? Unbelievable. Oh, these are all patch things? Yeah, this is, I guess this is just because of changing the names. We actually messed up the whole thing here. But that's fine. We can fix it if we need to. That's just the sample. But yeah, once that form is actually on success, and I think this is all on the success, you know, we would like basically to not forget that we need to the model-driven integration refresh equal true. So we can actually refresh wherever that we have in that model-driven app form. Perfect. And that's it. That will actually conclude the first two scenarios that we are covering in this demo. So we added a new Canvas app, create a new Canvas app inside the model-driven app. We embedded an existing Canvas app. So that's an existing Canvas app. We already have it, and we want to add it to the model-driven app. Now, the next is going to be create a custom page. So, but before we go to the custom pages, anyone has any questions about embedding Canvas app, either new or existing? Because the custom page is a different topic. It's going to be different kind of way of integrating Canvas apps. So if you have any question, that is the time to ask before actually we go and start our quick custom page that we are going to create. If you don't, I'm gonna head and start immediately. Seems to me no one have any question. Okay, perfect. That's awesome. So let's go ahead. So the first thing we're gonna do is we have our model-driven app, obviously, right? And then we're gonna go to that editing studio, which we already have, and we're gonna start by creating a new custom page. Let's hop in. Right here, that's obviously we are done with this. So no need for anything here. I'm gonna go ahead. I wanna actually go back, save and close. That's fine. Here We don't have anything that we need at this point. This is actually the, yeah, this is the form. So we are done with the forms. We don't need the forms. And this is our app. I'm going to actually go to my Canvas app, my custom page, my model-driven app, and I will hit edit. So we're going to start by editing the model-driven app, edit in a new tab, or you can edit in the same tab, no problem. Now to add a custom page. Again, remember, custom page is just a Canvas app, but it's not like embedding. So when we add a custom page, we basically adding the power of Canvas app in a completely separate page right here, right? And remember, that page that we add here can be our landing page. I'm going to show you why. So this is the account, and now we're going to add a page, right? So we're going to add a page. This is going to be a custom page. Go next. And this is create a new custom page. Yes, create a new custom page. Call this custom page Canvas app custom page. Add. Now the custom page is going to be created for us. That's our custom page. Perfect. Everything is going to work just fine here. And then the first thing that I want to do here at this point, I'm going to just change the background. So, you know, make it that, yeah, this is a custom page, basically. Maybe we can add yeah, I don't actually need to add anything. That's it. That's just beautiful right here. That's a custom page, right? And then I have something that we need to add, which is basically the code that we use when we send the information from the model-driven app to the custom page. Here, we don't have that model-driven or model app integration control. We don't have this. It's not, you cannot do it. Here, we're going to have to write code so we can pass parameters, because obviously custom pages, to pass information from the controls that we have now in the model-driven app to the Canvas app, we are using obviously the JavaScript, right? Remember? But again, it's very simple, and I have a surprise for you if you stay to the end of it. If you stay to the end, I have a very big surprise for you that actually gonna make you very happy, that you can do a lot of this JavaScript now, you know, at least for the purpose of this demo and for real life projects. If you are a business user, if you are a non-technical person, if you don't know anything about JavaScript, wait until the end of this. And again, it's only 40 minutes. We're going to try to make this quick, okay? Again, I covered this in detail also in my blog post. If you go in my website, you're going to find the model-driven app and custom pages specifically. That's why I left this toward the end, because I know I talked about this way more than I talked about the embedding new or existing Canvas app. In the app, there is actually property called onStart. In that onStart, I'm using, I have just this formula that I would like to use, and I will explain it to you. But meanwhile, this formula, let's get here, see if we have any error. Okay, so we have some old tables. So obviously we are using this with the account. So I'm going to go ahead and add my account table. Again, all the errors that I'm getting here, I'm getting these error because, you know, the account table is obviously it's different. So I'm going to go ahead and change this, and we will come and explain this later. And here we have account, because that's the unique identifier. And it's going to be the same thing right here. Accounts, and the unique identifier is coming from the column that called account. Perfect. And that's it. This is the formula. So what this formula is doing, right? Basically, what I'm doing here is I will be passing parameter. That parameter is going to be the record ID. Remember, Dataverse tables has records, and whenever you create a custom table, there is a default system columns will be created for you. One of them called the unique identifier that will be created for you. You cannot stop that. You cannot change it. You cannot delete that column, right? That column has something called GUID. We call it GUID or GUID or whatever you call it. It's just a bunch of strings, right? And and that's what we're going to use here. And this is going to be unique identifier for that record. So when we trigger this custom page, and in our case, we're going to trigger today this by a button. We're going to click add a button, and then we're gonna, when the user click that button, it will open the custom page for us, right? So we want actually to pass some kind of context to this. So we want to pass that ID. So when we open that custom page, I want to pass the ID with me so I can get some information from Dataverse, right? And then there is two places where we actually can pass information. Either we are triggering this custom page from the default view in the model-driven app, and I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. This is view, right? So here, this is a view. So if I have the button somewhere here, if I added it here, then that's mean I'm triggering the custom page from a view grid page, right? That's the view, right? But if I am actually inside a form and I have a button that I added right here, then I'm triggering that custom page from inside a form control, right? So it's two different things. And that's why my code here has this kind of if statement thing, right? Why? Because if I'm triggering this from a view, then there is no problem. It will actually come just the GUID string. That's fine. I can pass that. But if it's being triggered from actually a form control, it will pass the same GUID, but in between open and closed curly brackets. And that's why I need to remove this curly brackets, and that's why I'm using this, long code. But eventually, if you're using just the view, then you could have just set a variable, basically using set variable. The parameter here is going to be the record ID. Again, this is a parameter we are passing through our JavaScript function, which we will discuss very soon. Save and publish. And here we have done our first part of the custom, custom page. So we created a custom page, yet it's not complete. But again, this is a custom page. What is custom page? That's a Canvas app studio, right? You can do wherever you want to do, right? This is your Canvas app. Add your things. You have your data sources. This is your things. That's your world now. If you are coming from Canvas app side, do whatever you want to do. Now we're going to go back to finish our integration though. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and publish. I'm here in the model-driven app studio, right? So see, I'm actually opening both together. Like how beautiful is this? Like I'm opening the studio editing for Canvas, and here I have the model-driven app studio. It's just like the same thing, same place, right? If you have two screens, you have each one in one screen, and you can do your work. You are integrating both of them. So coming back here, it's being saved and published. Now let's go and just open, run the app, just to be. This is our app in the play mode. Yeah. So I'm gonna just go ahead and refresh. Probably we need to do a hard refresh. Can you tell me how you do a hard refresh in Mac? Yeah, when you change Windows, Mac to Windows, you feel like that's just. Let me try to do the F5 thing. It's just like I don't have the F5. Yeah, it's right here. Okay, perfect. So now we have this Canvas app, obviously. So I'm going to actually click on the Canvas app. Can I have the Canvas app to be my default page, right? So basically, I can control where the user goes from within the Canvas. Yes, you can. I can have this. When they open the model app, actually, the custom page is to be my default page. I can also hide everything else, right? So this is basically the page, by the way. It's just gray, and just really to. That's why I wanted to add some, just let's add what? Let's add some information here or something. Let's just add something. How about let's add icon. Just like 3D right here. Yeah, it's beautiful. Just right here. Save this. Yes. Yeah, save and publish, I guess. Yeah, maybe you can add some media too. No, not this one. Not this one. I have too many things. That's why. Okay, what about this? Let's add this right here. Yeah, Power Platform place. That's fine. Okay, perfect. Let's just delete this guy here. Perfect. And now we're gonna go back again. Are you saying something, Kevin? Is someone talking to me? Okay, no one? Okay, perfect.
No, I'm sorry.
That's okay, that's okay. So going back to our app right here, so I'm gonna go ahead and refresh again. A new version of this app is available because I already published the Canvas app. So basically, it's telling me that there is a new version of this app is going to be available because we just published. So this is the previous one, obviously. It's giving us like one piece at a time. Yeah, let's just do that. Yeah, come on. Did we publish? I guess we did. I thought we did. That's fine. Okay. Yeah, that's gonna be just a little bit of hard refresh. And see, the app is currently being updated. It takes some time. And again, I have a developer environment, guys. So this is not the case if you are paying. So this is the case when you are using free stuff. But yeah, this is usually it's a little bit faster than this, right? If you are working in production, paid license kind of thing. Okay, perfect. That's now our Power App. So this is our Power App. Again, here is your app. Canvas app, do your things. But now we're going to have to go back and do our integration. So to do our integration, as I said, we want actually to add a button on the first page here. I want to add a custom button like these ones. And when the user actually select an item, select a record, to show that button. I only when one record, when one account is selected, I want to show that. That's the scenario I have in my mind, right? You might have different requirements, but I want to show you how to do this and how to play with these things if you have kind of different use cases. So you come here and I'm going to go click on the account page where I have the table accounts. Click the three dots and then I will say edit the formula or the command bar. This is where we actually, yes. Okay, so this is where we are going to edit actually our command bar in the main grid, right? Again, what do we call this? This is the main grid. That's the main grid. That's what we have right here. So I want to edit the command bar of this main grid. That's the one, right? So I'm going to go back. It's going to be edit the main grid. And very simple things we're going to do here. First thing we're going to do is, guys, we want to create a new command. I want to create a new command button. Is this command is going to be created? Which type of command would you like to create? PowerFX, which is new, right? We will create a component library to store your formula, create certain limitation, apply. JavaScript does not require a component library. You may create a component library later if you change your mind. So obviously we're going with the JavaScript as I promised for this bootcamp. Okay, the name, I'm going to change the name of this label. So we're going to call it account budget. Okay, do we need an icon? Yeah, let's actually use a web resource. Yes, use an icon. And what icon we can use? There is too many icons here, or you can actually use a web resource. So what kind of, there is a nice one here. But you can actually use other web or customize. You can use your own web resource. You can add an image as a web resource and then select it from here. But here maybe we can find something that we can use. Let's actually QR code. No, yeah. What about this calculation? There is a calculator I just saw. Yeah, let's do this. Okay, perfect. So that's the budget. Now, is it going to be a JavaScript? Yes, it's going to be a JavaScript. And obviously, we don't have a JavaScript yet. But before that, I want to show you, okay, if I want to actually, for this, let's actually run a formula. Continue. Oh, yeah, that's, I meant to make the visibility is based on a formula. But that's fine. It will create a component that we will not use. That's okay. So before we go this, yeah, I have to go. So we did the app on a start formula to capture the pass variables from the triggering control. We did that. Now open the custom page from the main view grid. So we're going to create a custom command button. We already did this. We're going to configure the custom command button, and this is what we are doing at this time. Okay, perfect. Now here, the visibility, that's what that the configure. So the visibility of this, I want it to be show in a condition from a formula. Show on a condition from a formula. And here what we have is basically, I have this formula right here. So the visible property of this button, I want it to be like this. So I want to count rows, use the function count rows. If self, which is what self? Is going to be the view, the main view, you know, grid, right? That's self. If the main view grid that selected that all items, that all the item that I'm selecting is equal 1, then show me that button. If it's equal 0 or more than 1, it will not show me. That's it, right? So I'm going to actually save and publish this. And I'm going to just, let's go test this configuration, right? We don't want to rush. I know we probably going to finish before we finish the last part, which is triggering this or adding the command button inside a form, not from on the, but again, it's the same concept and it's already covered in my blog post. So you will see, you will find the difference, but it's the same concept and it's the same, basically almost the same code. And I have the code in the website as well. Don't worry. And I have the surprise for you that you might not even need to use a code at all, basically. But this is a community component, it's a third party. So we'll show it to you. Okay, perfect. So now I'm gonna go actually here, and I think it's playing already. Nope, that's not the one. Right here, that's the app. Go ahead and refresh. Again, hit refresh, and I want to go back to my accounts. Okay, let's select one here. Do I see? Yeah, do you see here? So when I selected a record, do you see this? I have the budget now. Perfect, right? If I select one, it's there. If I select two, it's disappearing. Do you see? Do you see the condition that I have here? It's working like this. If it's self that selected is all item equal 1, then it's true. If this formula, if this condition is equal true, right? If the count of this is equal true, if equal 1 and it's true, then it will show. If not, then it will hide, right? And obviously that's what we said. We're not going to do actually a formula. We're going to actually run a JavaScript, right? Perfect. Now, what is the JavaScript? Okay, I need to create a web resource. And to create a web resource, we can actually click here and say add a library. But obviously, we don't have a library that's ready for us to add. So I can go ahead and create, like click a new web resource, and I have to upload a file that is a JavaScript in that case, right? So I add a file that is JavaScript, and this is where we're going to learn how to do this. Okay, we're going to go back to the solution. Where my solution here? And here I'm going to go ahead and create new, more, and I want to create a web resource. And we will leave it here. Now I have to open my Visual Studio Code. I will start a new file, text file, select the language, and I'm selecting JavaScript. Obviously, I have the code for my web resource ready, so we don't have to waste time. I'm going to explain it to you right here. And this is going to be the main grid shipping page. That's the function of a name that I have. But here I'm going to call this account. Let's actually make this bigger so you guys can see. So I'm going to call this basically, and that's why I told you, like, you can use it in too many cases. I'm going to actually basically play this function and just change a few things. So this is going to be account budget. That's the name of my function. I'm copying this now. And everything is going to be the same, except what we need to do here. Here is the name of my custom page, right? So we already created that custom page, and that custom page has a logical name. So this is the logical name of the custom page, right? And obviously this is a previous, I need to go and get that one. So here we're going to go, okay, where is the logic? Where is the custom page that we have? This is pages. Under pages in the solution, this is where you have your custom pages. Do you see this? Right here. So under pages in the solution, you will find your custom page, right? And where is the logical name and how I can get the logical name? So if I click on these three dots, I go to advanced. Obviously, it's not showing me this here. In other controls, sorry, in other objects like columns and maybe column, maybe forms, you can actually get the logical name by just going to advanced and then get the logical name from here. But here now, to get the logical name, I will have to go and see the details. It's not even in the details. How I used to get yeah, see. Let me actually think about this for a second. I know that it's there. That's why we have that tool for you. So it's not in the details. Is it in the details? No, it's not in the details. I'm not going to copy this like this. Do I have to? Okay, show dependencies. Advance. Yeah, there is no way you can do it. You just have to write it down. Unbelievable. Okay. Yeah, there is another way to do that. I hate when I have to do this. I'm not gonna copy. Should I copy this? Okay, I cannot copy it. Okay, perfect. So I guess I have to open this right here. Oops. I'm gonna go ahead and open my Visual Studio Code. So this is, yeah, this is when it's painful, right? That's very painful that I have to type this. And that's why I'm gonna show you the surprise later. Okay, so let's go back here and we're gonna type this. It's gonna be Kontosu and then underscore canvas app custom page underscore 48713. Perfect, and that's it. And then what else that we have? So this is our custom page. Everything is the same, and get grid context. This is actually everything that we need to do. It's only two things that we have to change in this function: the entity name, which is actually, sorry, the name of the custom page, and I change actually the function name. That's it. That's everything. What I'm passing here to this, by the way, there's actually one error here. That's, yeah, that's it was just a mistake right here. So this is now my function. So I'm passing only one parameter, that parameter called selected ID. Again, that's the one that I'm returning right here as a record ID that I will use in my Canvas app. Remember the parameter that we set in the app on start property. That's it, right? So that's everything. And again, you don't have to do anything with this function unless if you want to change the size of how you're going to show this custom page. And we're going to show that. We're going to come and play with this later, today, I mean. So now, I'm going to just go ahead and save this. I want to save this obviously as a JavaScript. So let's just save it as a main grade account budget, selected just like this. Sub and where we're going to save it, let's just save it in document, JavaScript. Yes, I guess that's a good one. Main grade account JavaScript. Save. Perfect. That's the job. This is it. It's not it's 18 line. And it's already in the Microsoft documentation, by the way. It's not like I don't know JavaScript. I came from Visual Basic.net. I didn't, really wrote anything that complex in JavaScript yet, but that's it. That's everything that we had to change here. Okay, perfect. Now I'm going to go back to my account budget. I said we're going to run a JavaScript. Now we're going to go ahead and select that library. So we're going to have to add the library, right? So to add the library, we're going to come here, add the library, create new web resource from here, and we're going to go ahead and select select that JavaScript that we have, which is the main grid account budget right here. And I can see the code here, right here, just to make sure that everything look correct. Perfect. And then I'm gonna go ahead and open. What is the display name? I'm gonna call it account budget. That's an internal display name. Same thing for your logical name. Nothing else here, and save and publish. Here I'm gonna search by the display name that I just entered when I created this new web resource. So I'm gonna say it was account budget. That's the one, and I will add it right here. Okay, and here you have to give the function name, right? So you have the function name. Remember the function name that, what is this? Why it's not opening? Okay, so we have the function name. Remember, that's the function name. So this is what you need here. This is the function name. That's it. Do we have parameters? Yes, we have parameters. We are passing parameters, right? I'm passing something to this function, right? That's the parameter, selected ID, right? Again, it's all covered in my blog post here. All these different parameters that we can add. So you click here, you add parameters. How many? You have a ton of them, all these. Here, we're gonna just add the selected control. But in your case, you can have other options. You can have other parameters that you can pass from different kind of controls within the model-driven apps. Visibility is optional. Everything same is ready. So I'm gonna go ahead, save and publish. Oh, wow, it's 15 minutes left. Barely in time. All right, so now from here, we're gonna go ahead and play. The app is currently being updated for a newer version. I'm gonna give it a second until this message completely disappear, just to make sure that this is going to work. Remember, we still have this here open in the app. On start, we have this formula right here. So I'm gonna actually paste this on the chat as well for you. If I can get the chat, actually. Yeah, I think I can. So this is the formula that we are using right here. Again, the blog post, if you if you go, actually, I'm gonna also post this, but if you go to my blog post and go to model-driven app category, you will find everything related to these custom pages, right? Sorry about this. Okay, that's the chat. All right, here, going back. This is it. It's still actually updating. Probably now is done. Click here, select. I selected one record. I can see my custom button that I only want to show when I select a record. And then I click here, nothing showing yet. So I'm gonna just give it another refresh to make sure that it's probably still debugging or doing something in the back. And this is where you need actually to use the debug kind of things, you know, like this is important to know how to debug these JavaScripts in here, right? But I'm gonna go ahead and just wait until it works, unless we have something in the code that it's not allowing us to do this. So it's main grid account budget, selected ID, navigate, custom. This could be one of the reasons, is actually the Canvas app custom page. Could be this is a wrong. I think that's the only one that could be actually the mistake, the issue. But let's try again. Maybe it's not. It's just needed a time. Yep, it's not working. So I'm gonna go ahead and actually show you exactly how I'm gonna go and try to check this web resource. So I'm gonna go ahead. I want to refresh here. Obviously, we created that web resource. Now we have a component library. Oh, hold on. Where's the web resource? That's the web resource right here. This is my web resource. Edit. I will edit this in Classic. It takes sometimes, but we can, if we can go actually, yeah, I want to see the page again, name Contoso. Yeah, let me actually cut this thing right here. I just want this here somewhere so I can see it. Okay, save. Perfect. It's Canvas app custom page underscore 48713. Should work. Okay, edit the JavaScript right here. Let's see. Yeah, that's what I want. I want to just compare the name. Ah, yeah, we have one other way to do this. So I think that's the name. I don't think I made any mistakes here. Just to confirm, just do it. Okay, perfect. So that's everything. Navigate to, and this is the function name. I think that's what we passed. All right. Basic, and let's go ahead, publish here, and go and see if maybe it was propagating, I guess. Nope, it's not working. So it's still publishing here. So let's go ahead and publish all customization. So it has to be something in the code that not working for this one, or maybe the configuration itself. So I have to go back and see this one here. So we have the library is the Contoso account budget. That's the function name. Yes, I'm passing the selected control. Is it the selected control? No, not the selected control. I should pass. Yeah, for this one, this is the main page. Oh, we have two. Oh, okay. So here we are passing actually two things. We are passing the grid. Yeah, I think that's my bad. Yeah, I know what is the problem. So I'm passing actually two things for this example. So I'm gonna go ahead and just wait for this to open right here, and we will fix this real quick. So here we are passing actually two things. The first thing I'm passing is the selected control. The second parameter I'm passing is actually the selected ID. So I want to select the selected record ID, the selected record GUID, right? That's what I wanted to pass. It's actually the selected item ID. So I'm passing supposedly two things. So that's one of the issue here. So now save here, going back to my text editor. And here I want to actually, this is the selected ID. So I want to basically, here I had the grid context and then the selected ID because I'm using the grid context as well. So I was using actually the grid context, which is a parameter I'm passing to the function inside this function, but I did not pass it. So that was the problem. But here now we have the selected ID, we have everything, so that should work. Hit OK. And then save and publish all customization. And we have 7 minutes. So I will finish this, and if it worked, it worked. If not, then just go back to the blog post and it's working 100%. But again, that was exactly the issue. We are using actually the grid context function, which is basically passing the context of the control. In that case, is going to be the main grid view. And I wanted to refresh that after I close the custom page. So I'm using that in the JavaScript, but I did not pass it to the function. And that's why the function was basically not working. So we're going to come back here. Again, that's the thing. Let's go actually and run this again. New version in this app is available. Just keep refreshing. Refresh. And you can see here, right here. So I opened right here the custom page. And again, from here now, remember, I do have some information. I passed something, and I'm going to show you this real quick. So where is my app? That's the app, right? Remember what we passed? So I'm going to add a label right here. And in this label, actually, what we're going to do, let's just make this in the middle real quick and make it bigger. So 15. So I want to first, I'm going to utilize my app. Remember that variable I have? So the var record ID. So that's one of them. So I'm going to use that. So to get basically, or record item. So we can have the record item. So let's use the record item. And this record item value dot what? That account name. Okay. And let's just, and then, and account number. That's it. Right? Save and publish. So what I want to say, what I want to tell you here, I want your Canvas app sensing now is working, right? So I'm passing to you the account number, and I'm passing to you the account name. I'm passing these from a Dataverse table, from a selected record in a view or a grid view control in the model-driven app to your Canvas app to do whatever you want, right? So I'm gonna hit the publish, go back, and now let's just give it 1 or 2 refresh before I go and tell you the surprise real quick. I promise, and I have to keep it. All right. Right here, account budget, hit here. Still, I guess I just have to refresh again to make sure it's still DC. The app is currently being updated, so we just have to give it a second and be patient, which I don't have today. You know, when so, okay. Let's try again. Still not showing me. I wanted to show me the information that I'm passing. Right here. Do you see this? So I have the adventure work sample, and this is the account number right here. Now let's select another one. City Power and light sample, and this is the account number. Do you see these? Now click here, right here, City Power and light sample. So I passed this account number, and I passed the account name. Now, if I have any other third party, this is existing Canvas app, or not existing Canvas app, but I'm building this Canvas app right on top of this model-driven app to do whatever I want to do. And again, this is just 70%. I can open this as a full page if I want to, right? So as I promised, I'm going to go back and show you what I was talking about you. Again, this is still under development. Once we finish it, we will actually put it in GitHub and everyone can use it. So me and some people in the community, we are working to design this awesomeness for you. So I'm gonna actually come here, and this is, for now, it's only working with the custom pages. We are covering all these Java functions, but to give you an idea what this eventually gonna do. So you will have a Canvas app, right? This Canvas app you will just open and play. After you import this solution, this is a solution you will download from GitHub and import it in your environment, right? Then you will go to this app, run the app, and play the app. When you play the app, this is what you will get. Use JavaScript to open a custom page. That's the title I have here, right? You have to enter the function name. If you want to enter a function name, like what we did what? We called it, for example, account budget information, right? That's what we called it, right? Where do I want actually this custom page, or this, who's going to trigger that custom page? Is it going to be triggered from the main grid or from the main form? You can actually select. If you don't know, you click on this and it show you, right, what information that you need. Do you need actually the main grid or the main form, where you are going to trigger that custom page from, right? And then where do you want? Select how to show the dialog. Do you want to show the dialog as a full page, or you want to show this custom page as a centered dialog, or you want to show that custom page as a side dialog, like a side page, right? And each one of these has information. Like here, this is a full size, right? If you want a side, if you want a center, right? So you select, let's go select a center. And then here you want to select the custom page width compared to the model-driven app page width. So I want this to be 50% in the width. And what about the height? I want it to be 35. And then now here I can select my custom page. So wherever custom page that you have, you already created the custom page. See the logical name that I was trying to copy earlier today? Right here. You get it right here. You don't have to worry about it. Create the custom page in your solution and you will get it here. What is the name of the dialog that, when that custom page open, what is the, it's just the title. So I'm gonna call it my custom page. Do you see the code right here? It's actually being created for you. But this is not it. You can copy obviously this code and just put it in a JavaScript and save it and then do whatever I just did today, right? But you don't have to do that. You can actually install this as a web resource in your solution. And that's the second step. You create a web resource. You have to select the solution where you want to actually install this. And all your environment solution are here. So I'm having, like, let's just go the JavaScript web resource builder. And then what is the name of that web resource that you want to actually install? So I'm giving my web resource a name. Is going to be MDA, let's say call it MDA Canvas app demo. And then I will click submit. You have a process that run in the back end. And if we go back to our solution now, this is the solution. If I actually hit refresh, I should get, it was this one though. I think it was this one. Let's see, JavaScript web source builder. It will actually create and install that custom. For me, I have this cloud right here, and I can go and see if it's actually run the flow. Yeah, it's failed. Let's actually check it out real quick. As I said, it's still under development, so we might be having some issues here. The given solution unique name is not valid. Yeah, I think I selected the wrong solution. Given solution, select, it's just a solution, but we can definitely try this in a different place. Where's the app? Right here. So let's select this. let's select actually this, yeah, solution, test, upload web resource, submit. Let's try it now. Yeah, don't tell me it's not going to work. I know it's worked. Yeah, here, it's working here. So just maybe a solution naming thing. Anyway, so if we go back to our solution right here, the solution that we have is called test upload web resource right here. And we come here and you can see the web resource actually right here. It's being added to us. That's the web resource created for us. So literally you can actually use this Canvas app to do all this, you know, by just answering a few questions here, and everything will be created for you. That's a surprise. Wait for it. It's soon is going to be live, and we will send it your way so you can build all these JavaScripts by just answering a few questions in these drop down things. You don't have to worry about the code or anything. With this, I conclude. Thank you so much. I'm sorry I took more than the time. Then we didn't cover the main part of, you know, the main form custom page. It's the same thing. If you go actually to Power Platform Place, as you can see here, and if you go, it's actually one of my recent, but they are under model-driven apps. So I have the data verse model-driven app custom page Power FX full integration tutorial. That's the one. And then we have the debugging also as well. So you can know how to debug these JavaScripts. Show or hide model-driven apps form taps. These are all part of this. And also even the timelines note, you know, like you can add these timeline note and activities, which is a Dataverse feature. You can access these features from the Canvas app and add those information into there, you know, so that's all there. And you can see these actually if you need more information about this. Any questions? I'm willing to answer. Thank you so much for attending today. I hope that you at least got grab of how powerful that can be. You know, remember you have, you know, you have this Canvas app is being integrated with your model-driven app. You send data based on the selection of the end user in the model-driven app. You do whatever you want then after that for your Canvas app. The same thing with these embedding situations where you can embed, you know, existing or new Canvas app inside a form in a section and do your things over there. Any questions? I see actually there is a chat here. Okay. Okay. So CRM dev, new to custom pages and has just started playing with it. When I create a custom page, I was not able to find a drop-down control. Only a combo box control is available. Yeah, that's correct. That's what is available now. Yes. So you're talking about probably the button control, right? So the command button. So these are the options that we have at this time, right? And again, I met actually the product managers or product engineer of Microsoft last year in the convention in Orlando, Florida. And we had a conversation about where this is going, right? The custom pages, because I was so excited about this, right? So, and a lot of people were so excited about this too. So this is actually moving that Microsoft is investing a lot on this, that eventually we're not going to even need to use any kind of JavaScripts. So everything is going to be PowerFX, right? And you're going to have full integrations between the Canvas apps and the model-driven apps. You know, it's slowly changing and it's slowly improving, but keep tones because you might have even more control than just a button in the future. Yeah, will I be checking the QA? Yes, I will definitely check the QA. Let's start. Oh, that's great. We have some questions here. Okay. So I see that you are using the app command bar to add all this functionality, but we have found that this customization do not deploy particularly where between environments. Any recommendation on how to overcome this? I have not seen. Yes. So as this is much easier to use, example in the Ripon workbench. Yes. So first of all, the workbench, which is the XRM tools, these are community tools, and not all of us can use community tools in enterprise, setup. Like I cannot use XRM tools, right? Unfortunately, the toolbox, because it's a third-party community product, so we cannot use it in our organization. So that's why I cannot use this. But I personally use the custom command, and I have actually moved it between dev, testing, and prod environments without an issue. So I don't know what kind of issue exactly you are facing. Is it in the sense of the button, the command button itself, like the design showing or hiding, or it's the JavaScript, the web resource that is not working? So what exactly that caused the problem? That if you can follow up to that, that will be great. What is the difference between embedding a Canvas app versus adding a custom page? Yes. So the difference, I think we kind of cover it, but let's focus. Custom page is a different page in the app, like here. So this is a custom page, right? So the app itself, the Canvas app, can be a page in the model-driven app, while the embedding or the embedded Canvas app, it has to be a part of a form, right? This is a Dataverse form right here. So it has to be a part like this, right? Or in a section like this, but it cannot be a separate page right here, right? The same thing, we don't trigger these by buttons, for example, or maybe on event handlers, like on load or on close, we can trigger actually a custom page and show that page, right? When we are saving on the save handler, or when we are closing actually the form, we can trigger this. Or even when we open a record right here by just clicking here and click edit, you can actually run a JavaScript to open that custom page for you. These are not doable, or it's not meant to be working with the embed Canvas pages. That's a good, yeah. So that's great, Lynn. Yeah, let me actually research this for you, and obviously let me actually put my LinkedIn here. I'm not sure if you guys all in my LinkedIn account. So Sanur, if you can actually paste my LinkedIn profile. I'm actually in too many things here. Yeah, follow me in LinkedIn, and I'm gonna actually get back to you, Lynn, about this session being recorded. This session is being recorded. We have over 3 hours now. 3 hours 47 minutes, I guess. So yes, it is being recorded, and we will actually go into put it in a YouTube channel, so you will have it. With virtual tables, can we connect external data sources and create empty? Yes. Virtual tables or these external entities or external tables now, once you build that virtual tables, you can build actually a custom page using that virtual table. That's exactly why we have this virtual tables. This is just awesome. Good question. So much. Thank you so much. Embedding Canvas app. Yeah, that's great. So I think we answered most of these questions here. Let's see. Okay, that's good. Yeah, thank you so much, guys. Sorry, I'm almost lost energy. I'm starting using my words, losing my words again. Coffee is a big thing when we are fasting, and you don't have to drink fat. Obviously we don't drink anything, but not drinking coffee is the hardest. So I feel like my mouth is all dry. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just sleep it off again the rest of the day. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it. We're gonna go ahead and once we have this record, we're gonna publish it, put it on YouTube. Thank you. I would like to thank actually Sonor from Data Crafters for helping me, co-organizing this. I hope that at least, again, my idea was those of you who are good in Canvas app and they want to come to model-driven apps, or Dataverse and they are afraid that they're going to use all that control, you will not use anything. You will actually gain more control. You will have more powerful tools, powerful features, powerful database, which is the Dataverse, and business logics, and it's just too much that I cannot even cover in 3 hours. Just every powerful tool that in Dataverse, every powerful thing that you can do with Power Pages, model-driven apps, all this is going to be there for you in addition to all your legacy, new, existing Canvas app that you have built with all over 200 external data sources that you can connect to through the Canvas app or virtual tables, you know, and you can now create these virtual tables. Now it's just so simple, you know. Basically, you know, I'm gonna just show it to you right here. Like you come here, add new, right, existing tables right here, table from external data. At this point, as you know, we have SharePoint and we have SQL Server. At this point, is gonna change? Yes, it's going to change. Eventually, you're gonna have way much more than this in the future. Thank you so much, everyone. I really appreciate you. I mean, we started by 18. Now, oh, we have Muhammad here has a question. Go ahead, Muhammad. No problem. Go ahead, Muhammad. Oh, you want to just thank you so much. So I really appreciate that. You know, we started with 18 and we have 14 now. So most of you continue with this journey. I hope that we meet. I'm gonna have many of those in the future. Again, focusing on Dataverse and Canvas app together. So if there is any new things that I know about, I will definitely bring to the table through these actually community sessions. Also, if you followed me in LinkedIn, send me, again, I don't have like a feedback. I didn't design a feedback forms or anything, but send me the feedbacks in LinkedIn, or you can send it actually in the chat here. That's completely fine because you can actually send chats even after we finish the meeting. We're still going to so if it's 3 hours too much, should we focus in one single point and maybe just make it hour and a half? I really try today to make a use case, a showcase of this, and then from there we're gonna take it, maybe cut things smaller, and maybe you want to focus on a small piece at the time. This community tool that we're gonna publish to help you create these JavaScript web resources and install them for you in your designated solution, the solution that you will pick, and you just have to go and select basically that web resource. Once it's on, you will know about it. We will post it everywhere, and obviously it's going to be in this Memphians user group as well. We're going to put an announcement that we have this tool is ready with all the instructions for how to install it. This should be very, very soon. At least the first release, first iteration of the tool is going to be by probably the maximum is the end of April. I appreciate you all. Thank you so much, and I will see you next time.